Alright, yes guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over the two trades that were able to secure me over $12,000 in one day across all my prop firm accounts plus my two live accounts. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So on the Nasdaq right now, we're coming into the first day of macro, and the first thing I'm going to do is go on the 15-minute time frame and mark out the key points of liquidity. Okay, cool. So we can quite clearly see here we have our point of London highs, Asia lows, and just simply going on the 15-minute time frame, you will see that you can mark out the recent 50-minute swing low. So looking for any of these points to get swept, and that would be a liquidity point that I'd be interested to potentially look for a trade-off when we go into the New York session. We can see from the New York Open, prices dumped, and we've taken out all key points of sell side. So from this point, you would instantly be looking to anticipate longs. Now, in terms of the bias, we had a bullish bias overall using imbalances from gaps to the left. Price is in a large high time frame discount right now after this retracement we're currently in, and you'll be able to see that price is reacting out of all of these bullish gaps here on the 4 hour to the 1 hour, etc. We're going to want to look for a model to look for longs. So let's see if we get it. Okay, so coming into the first day of macro, we can see that we've got a shift higher market structure on both NQ and ES. However, there's no gap on ES, no gap on NQ, and no bearish order block to be paired with a gap. We have to continue. Okay, so right here we can see price came back down, failed to shift, and drew back to the lows. So we've now taken out this recent short-term low, and we will continue to look for a shift higher market structure. Perfect. So right here we can see price puts in another short-term high on both NQ and ES, and what do we notice? It puts in a bearish order block at the same time. So simultaneously forming a short-term high is put in a bearish order block. So now we can look for a market structure shift above this high on both NQ and ES. There we go. So price completes this shift in market structure. You can see that price has closed aggressively above these two short-term highs, leaving behind a bullish gap on NQ, a bullish gap on ES, and inversing this bearish order block, and this would be our point of entry, this small 1 minute fair value gap. It doesn't matter how small the gap is, if there's a gap, it's valid. Alright, so it doesn't matter if it's literally 0.25 ticks big, like that's a gap you gotta take. So I'll be looking for longs off of this gap right here. I'm running my stop at the short-term low for 24 points and looking for a flat 1 to 2 RR. So let's see if we get an entry. Bang, there we go. So price perfectly ticks us in, running stops at the short-term low, and then TP at 1 to 2. And now, as you can see already here, we're past 50%. We're up 1R already on the position, more than a 1R. So you would be going break even here. There's no reason as to why you should be keeping an open risk at this point of the position. So let's see if this runs the final TP or not. Bang, and there we go. So TP gets smashed, and that was the first position of the day that we took, putting us up 2R on the day. Just to break down this trade quickly again, came to the New York Open, price came down, manipulated lower, swept sell side, Asia lows, and the recent 15-minute swing low. What do we then see? Price shifts higher in market structure on both NQ and ES, but fails to shift without leaving behind a gap. So it then draws back lower to take out the recent short-term low, and then price puts in a new short-term high on both NQ and ES and a bearish order block simultaneously, and then price shift structure, inversing that bearish order block, and also shifting structure on ES, leaving behind a bullish gap on both NQ and ES, bearish order block that got inverse, paired with a gap, tap on the gap, and stops at the low, TP for a 1 to 2, price hits a 1 to 2, there we have it. Alright, cool. So coming into the lunch macro, the second day macro was terrible. There was nothing there. Prices swept these points of sell side, and if you go on the 5-minute time frame, this is a 5-minute swing low. So you have that 1 minute swing low, and then you also have this swing low right here, which is on the 5-minute time frame. So really, you mark out either point. It doesn't really matter. So then now all we would look for is a shift higher market structure. We still have a bullish bias. We would now want to look for a shift higher, inversing a bearish order block on both NQ and ES. Alright, there we go. So price is now shifted structure higher on both NQ and ES. We've got a bullish gap on both assets, and you can actually see that we have a bearish order block being inversed as of now on ES. So this trade is actually going to be valid to take. Bang, there we go. So that would be an entry for longs, and then you run stops at this short-term low for 24 points, and then run it for a 2R like so. Alright, so as of now we can see price takes the first short-term high and then takes the high, which is 50% of the way from my entry point and TP. So you'd be going break even here, completely risk-free. So let's see if the rest of this position hits TP or not. Bang, and there we go. So price hits TP in the end there. When I actually took the position, my TP was like here, so it got hit instantly. As price came up, I didn't really get involved in this little retracement part back into the bullish gap, but you can see that price drew to that 5-minute gap. If we go on the 5-minute time frame, it drew to that higher 5-minute imbalance, and there we go. So that then secured me another 2R on the day, leaving me up 4R. There were no more positions, and that was that. So I hope you guys found this video insightful. If you did get any value from it, then leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff for more videos to come. I'm always dropping videos on what I'm doing each day and basically how I live my life, from trading on the charts, going to the gym, what my lifestyle's kind of like. And if you want to get live insights on that as well, join the free Discord in the description. That will take you to everything. You can get in contact with me there. And if you want one-to-one mentorship, you'll find it there. And watching me actually trade live is also part of that process. So you'll find it all there in the free Discord. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.